So Lake Mungo is a 2008 Australian independent horror movie that's been on my radar for quite a while. It's had a recent second sight Blu-ray box set release because it's always been on DVD. And finally, on Wednesday this week, I managed to watch it on my iTunes account because I've been quite eager to watch it. I had the time to watch it. I did watch it, so let's see what I thought of it. Allreeeet everyone, Geordie Paul here. Welcome back to another edition of Magpie Movies with myself. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for watching my content. So today, as I said in the intro, I'm going to be doing a spoiler, that's right, a spoiler review of 2008's Lake Mungo. So if you don't want to know about the film and you don't want to know what happens in it, then don't watch any further. That's basically it, okay? As always, don't be shy. Don't forget to hit that subscription button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. So whenever I do any new videos, you'll be the first one to know. So yes, Lake Mungo. Released here on the 7th of June, 2021 by Second Sight in a nice box set, which will be here, which you can see. I was contemplating buying this, 25-30 quid here in the UK, but I'd never seen the film. I had been recommended it by fellow YouTubers such as Tony from Horror and Todge, and I know Jamie Powell seen it. I think Tony's the one who brought it up when I had him on my live stream a few months ago, if not last year. I can't even remember now. So it's been on my radar. I did have it on pre-order via the Second Sight release, but I cancelled it. Not because I didn't want to buy it. It's just the fact that I didn't want to go on blind and pay 25 to 30 quid for a film that I haven't seen. So in a recent, I think it was last week or the week before, iTunes did a sale, as they do now and again, and it was $2.99 or $3.99, excuse me, for the 4K restoration of it. So I thought, well, I'll pick that up, so at least I now have a permanent proper 1080p copy of it on my UK iTunes folder, and that was it. So on Wednesday this week, I sat down and I watched it from beginning to end. So before we get into my review, let's go through a few pointers. The film was directed by Joel Anderson. It had a 2008 release through different festivals and an Australian release, obviously because it's an Australian independent film. It's on for 1 hour and 27 minutes, and it is the full aspect ratio, be it the cinema, be it at home, any kind of home media. You won't have the black letterbox bars. That's basically it. The film is filmed in a way of a kind of a mockumentary, of which I'm sure you're aware, where it's a case of family members talking to camera about events and that had happened, events that are going to happen, and things such as that. The film itself centres around the family called the Palmers, or Palmer. There is a mum, dad, brother Matthew, and sister Alice, or son and daughter Alice and Matthew. They all go to a barbecue on a beach at a lake next to where they live in Australia. Alice goes missing. The police are called, and later on her drowned body is found stuck at the bottom of the lake. They bring her out, they do the funeral, and that's it. However, since then, or since the funeral, they start hearing noises in the home, and they address the camera. So because of this, the brother Matthew decides, because he gets into photography after his sister's died, decides to video and set up a static video camera within the family home to see if he can capture anything moving. And he also takes pictures of the back garden. He said that he started a project of every month or every 2 months he takes a picture of the back garden, so you can see the progression over time of the back garden, the neighbourhood, the mountains and everything that they see there. So when they go back to review the tapes, they see a figure moving. They see a silhouette or a ghostly figure of their daughter Alice in this photo, so much so that in order to kind of address her grieving, the mother goes to see a kind of medium, does a sessions with him and brings him to the home, and at which point when he's in the home he decides to do a seance. Dad isn't too keen on it, brother goes along with it, and he decides to film it. Now when they go to review the film footage, they see in the background again an image of Alice standing there. As the interviews progress within the movie, we then learn that the son, Matthew, doctored the videotapes and the photographs to have silhouettes or images of his sister on there to help his mother with the grieving process. However, it kind of didn't really work out because his mum decided that after seeing the video footage, she must still be alive. So the family then get the body of Alice exhumed, a DNA testing done, it is indeed her body. There's a lot of things which are adding up in this with regards to brother, it's ghost, no, the brother's faked it. And then there's another family who go to the lake where she drowned. They're videoing themselves. You can see in the background a kind of figure, which they also believe to be Alice. The film moves on. But by the end of the whole film, you kind of realise that from the family's point of view, it's not a ghost at all. However, there then becomes a twist where they discover that before Alice disappeared, or drowned should I say, in the lake, she went on a school field trip to a place called Lake Mungo, hence the title of the movie, where she is seen in the background again as her colleagues or friends and school friends are videoing themselves burying something in the sand. The family then take a trip to Lake Mungo in the night time because it's a tourist attraction. They dig this up, they find a bag, and in here they find a phone and some personal possessions. When they get into the phone, they go through it and they see her wandering off at night. And then you can see it is through her viewpoint on the camera, it's a POV, and you see her, as in Alice, when she's still alive, approaching a figure, and this figure is a doppelganger of her when she's drowned. The father didn't, obviously, because he had to identify the daughter when she drowned, recognises this and said this is more or less the exact same image, because we do see the body of Alice, obviously, rigor mortis and drowning and see whatever, and they compare the two, and so they believe that Alice encountered a ghostly doppelganger of herself, which predicted her death. We then find out that Alice had actually gotten to see the spiritualist medium that a moment seen earlier in the film, but he didn't share that because of protection over patient confidentiality. So the family then go, right, okay, what we're going to accept is the house isn't haunted. She saw a doppelganger, it's unexplained, we need to go leave this area. So the family at the end of the film move, and as they move, they take a picture of themselves, like family last member in front of their old house, and in the background you see a ghostly apparition in the window of the home of Alice, and that's it. The film ends. As the film's credits roll, as kind of like post-credit scenes, you see the earlier video footage that I thought the family took, where you thought she was in the background, and the videos of a brother took, and you can see that on the videos and cameras and photos and everything that there's another image in the background as well. As a kind of tangent throughout the narrative, we find out that Mum has seen that on the video where she thinks is a figure of her daughter running, this is before the end, she sees another image. They recognise that image as an old neighbour. What's he doing in her daughter's room when she's dead? They go through her room, find a secret area where they find a tape where it looks like Alice has been having a three-way with the people who she babysat for, as in this guy, their neighbour, and the wife. So everyone's kind of going, we don't even know who Alice is. This is Alice to her mum, this is an Alice to her friends, and then she's Alice, who's this other person who she kept secrets of having an affair with her next door neighbour and his wife. So yeah, so this is all intertwined. So it's basically, the story is a journey of the family losing Alice, trying to discover her, as in like her presence in the home, but also discovering more about her life. That's it. That is your spoiler review. That's it. Everything that happened in the movie I've described. If I missed something out, I've probably forgotten, because I'm not scripting this. This is all coming off. So yeah, so I was really looking forward to this movie, because it's kind of my thing with regard to mockumentaries and things in the background, a bit like House on Haunted Hill, where there's little ghosts pop up in the background. But if I'm being totally honest with you, this film disappointed me. It really did. I didn't find it scary at all. Normally, scary and supernatural films I'm not a big fan of, but I thought I'd give this one a go. I did not find this scary at all. Is it a hidden gem? I don't think it is. You know, I know that big YouTubers like Chris Stuckman really enjoyed it, and I know some of my friends really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't go so far to say as it's rubbish. It is an enjoyable film for an hour and a half for what it is. If you're watching this, you obviously know already what happened because I've told you. But if not, it's a kind of a journey that you go through with the family. The acting is superb with regards to being in a mockumentary style. You do believe that these people are Alice and the Palmer family. You do believe that the friends, family, law enforcement aren't actors. You know, there's even faked news footage of the death and the recovery of the body. That part of it is great. The writing is great. The idea of it is great. But it's just not, for me, a scary movie. It was built up to me to be this big psychological thing that'll make you think overnight after you've watched it, which will make you want to revisit it. But yeah, this film, although it was an hour and a half enjoyable, I came out of it thinking, is that it? I mean, from a Rolf rating perspective, if I'm doing a review on this, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. It's not as good as a 7, but it's not rubbish. I just want to be quite adamant that this is not a bad film. It is by no means at all a bad film. It's just not what I expected. I guess for me, from all the reviews and all the YouTubers and other people that I know who have seen it and they've built it up, I wouldn't say built it, but they enjoyed it and recommended for me to watch it, I thought it was going to be better than it was. But these things, subjective with movies, isn't it? Some people really love a film, some people don't. You know, some people really loved The Witch and really loved The Lighthouse, whereas I just thought they were rubbish and I thought they were overrated and crap. But yeah, so there you go. So that is my spoiler review of 2008's Australian independent movie, Lake Mungo. Whew, had to get that off my chest. Anyway, yes, have you seen the film? What did you think of it? I know obviously a few people who will be watching this have already seen it and they'll be interested in my views and comments. If you have seen it and you're not someone who's let me know about what you thought of it, drop it in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to please like, share and subscribe. I am over on Instagram, as I say at the end of all my videos, at magpie_movies1978. Yeah, that's it. There you go. Whew, did feel a bit better after getting off my chest. I feel I wanted to do this video for a while and I'm glad that I have. So if you fancy it, give it a watch. It may be up your street, it may be not. I'm just glad that I didn't pay £25–30 for a film that to me is a kind of one-off, maybe two-off watch, and that's it. But anyway, yes. Thank you very much. This is Geordie Paul, a last surviving member of Magpie Movies. Finally watched Lake Mungo, was disappointed, signing off.